To lead the Skol chant and sound the Yaller horn, please welcome the 31st Adjutant General of the Minnesota National Guard, Major General John Jensen.
Well, hello, this is John Randall, Minnesota Vikings legend, and it is my pleasure to say, Minnesota Vikings fans uncensored, are you ready? Keith, get your people up. Let's go. Skol, 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 baby. Let's go.
Hello, Vikings fans. Welcome to the Let's Skol show in week 13 of the offseason. I'm Fish. As always, I've got Mr. Positivity, Cody Bowden. Hey, who greets with smoke, Skullful Shaq. Tonight, we remember two Viking legends, Jeff Seaman and Joey Browner. The Vikings exercised Jordan Addison's fifth year. Was it the right move? What's your expectations for him in 26? KOC spoke to reporters at the NFL's annual league meeting addressing the center and QB position. That draft, it's only 3 weeks away, so let's talk more about it. BPA, anyone? Shaq is going to school us on 5 defensive linemen that could be potential fits for the Vikings. And we will be doing our first live mock draft of the year. Mock you like a hurricane. We will go around the Gallahorn with our hot takes and make our purple prophecy predictions. But before we jump into all that, let's break this ice. You know, fellas, with the passing of 2 great Vikings this past week, and we've had some really great ones go recently, was there any particular one that really hit you hard when they went? And let us know in the chat if there was a particular one that really got you when they went.
Yeah, I would say it'd probably be Kyrie Jackson, just because he never even got to see the actual field for us, and he was drafted up in the day 2 pick, and it sucks to see a career being halted so soon without even to get to see him play, because I know we were all hyping him up, especially one of our guys in the chat that really loved him. He's the one who brought him on for us. We ever watching his tape and his highlights and all that stuff out there, we thought, man, this guy could be our number 1 corner, right? You know, the lanky guy that we wanted, the tall guy that we wanted. He had all the physical tools to play it. It just hurts that we didn't get to see those physical tools on the field.
Yeah. Real effervescent personality, too. I remember his call with KOC and B-Flow.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least with KOC. But yeah. Rest in peace,
back,
Kyrie.
Going back to what Alabama coaches and Oregon coaches were saying about him. He was a good kid.
Yeah.
For me, I was gonna say Bud Grant, but you know, I didn't really get to watch much of him. That's more so for legacy. So I'm gonna go with somebody who recently passed away, Rondale Moore. It's just a sad situation because I know he was an elite prospect in college, and then it's unfortunate, like his career couldn't get past the injuries and stuff, and it probably played a major part in his mental. So, you know, it was just a sad situation for Rondale Moore.
Rest in peace, Rondale. What up, Captain?
What's going on, fellas? What's up, George? I see you. I see you talking that smack already. Go Kings, go. For me, I mean, all the guys you said, yeah. I mean, Kyrie really hurt. That one really hurt because everything that Cody said, spot on. Like, we had high expectations for him. He seemed so happy, you know, to get drafted, and it did seem like a positive thing for us. He was so young, and just wake up, boom, and like, wait, what? Like, it wasn't believable. But one that really hit me was actually Orlando Thomas. Because Orlando Thomas was one of my favorite Vikings of all time. It's kind of a little unheralded one, but he ended up getting that Lou Gehrig's disease. So it was kind of like a slow thing, you know, seeing it coming and just seeing him in that shape, like that really tore me up because when I was younger, like that was one of the guys I looked up to. He played safety, like I played safety, like that was somebody I looked up to. So rest in peace, Orlando Thomas. That one really got me.
Rest in peace, Orlando. Guys, mine is kind of along that same vein as Joey Browner. Mine is Chris Dolman. I remember being in high school, and back when I was in high school in the 80s, man, I'd get in fist fights over this stuff, man. You know, I had these Army brats coming through high school. They were fresh 49ers fans because of how good they were in the 80s and Joe Montana and all that. And so then when it just came down to, you know, us trash talking and settling it out on the football field and, you know, after school, and Dolman was he wasn't big at all. And he was just so damn good. And when he passed, it kind of made me go, man. But rest in peace, Sackmaster.
Yeah. Dolman, definitely a childhood hero of mine as well. So we're obviously talking about this because, like Fish said in the intro, two Viking legends did pass away, Jeff Seaman and Joey Browner. Seaman was before all of our times, really, and Browner was a little bit before Shaq and Cody. So, you know, unfortunately, I can't really say much about Seaman. I wish there was somebody who could come on and tell us a little bit about him. But from, you know, what I looked up, he was a linebacker in the 70s, 4-time Pro Bowler, played in 3 Super Bowls, one of the 50 greatest Vikings. It's on the Vikings' 25th and 40th anniversary teams, and he played his whole 11-year career with the Vikings. Cody, I know your dad was like a Viking fan, you know, his whole life. Did he ever talk about him?
So my dad, he mentioned something to me, and it was a nickname that he had. They called him Thunder Chicken. All right, I don't know why that came about. I think it's from his college or something, but that's what was his nickname in college. So, but on that, I was looking who he was. I did have a 1975 Topps sports card of his one time, and I always hated it because on the back of it mentioned the Packers. It said something like who owned or who is the owners of the Packers, and we all know it's the fans, or it was something about Lombardi or some stuff like that. But yeah, it had the Packers on it. Really made me mad about it. But other than that, yeah, he has some couple interesting records. One interesting record is he holds the record for most fumble recoveries returned for touchdowns in Pro Bowl games. Wow. And it's something odd. You don't see 3 of them. He has 3 of them to the house. So something like that's odd. He Super Bowl 9, he led all tacklers with 10 tackles and was basically what they called him, a one-man wrecking crew out there in the middle linebacker position.
Oh man, yeah, that you know, very obscure getting that 3 touchdowns in a Pro Bowl for fumble recoveries, which back then I imagine the Pro Bowl was actually taken a little more serious than it ever was in our lifetimes. Yeah. Like they're probably playing for like a little bit of a bonus, and that little bit of a bonus was big back then.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to say he was like a one-man wrecking ball on those 70s teams with what you know was playing in front of him, that says something.
Yeah.
And then what's crazy is the same day that Seaman passed away, Joey Browner also passed away. And Joey Browner was one of my earliest favorite Vikings. He's one of those players that, you know, when I think about, I really think about watching the football games with my dad. Mm-hmm. And he's like one of those players. He made it cool to play defense. He made it cool to watch the defense in the games. It's like, you know, he was like a human hit stick, and he was also a ball hawk. He had 37 interceptions in 9 years as a Viking, which that's only 2 less interceptions than Harrison Smith has, but he played 69 games less than Harrison Smith. So like he was kind of like a jack of all trades. And he's a 4-time All-Pro, 6-time Pro Bowler, part of the NFL's 1980s All-Decade team. I don't know how he's not in the NFL Hall of Fame. He's in the Vikings Ring of Honor, also one of the 50 greatest Vikings, part of the 40th anniversary team, and the All-Mall of American team. He has the resume of a Hall of Famer, and it's a shame, like, if he does get in there, it's going to be one of those where he'll never get to see it. But even if that's how it's got to be, he should still get in. But the Joey Browner one hit me. But we kind of knew this was coming because Tommy Kramer last year, he was, trying to sell stuff to earn money for Joey Browner to support his health. So we kind of knew he was in poor health condition, but we really haven't had an update. And then all of a sudden, see the news that he died.
Yeah. I tell you what, one thing about him playing defense back then, I remember one thing. Joey Browner would tackle tight ends and running backs up high. He did not chicken out and go low and catch them at the legs. He would always wrap them like around their pads and just take them. And it wasn't like some hip drop tackle or nothing. He was like just rodeo driving them to the ground. It was great. He'd probably be getting a lot of flags these days, but he was a man playing safety.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely had a lot of horse collar tackles, but that wasn't a thing back in the day. That was a totally
I was about to say that was legal back in the day.
Yeah, that was legal back then. There was a play where he broke someone's leg doing that. I mean, that's kind of how the horse collar became outlawed, because I think it was Terrell Owens got his knee torn on a horse collar tackle, and that's what made them change the rule. But back then, they didn't care.
Yeah, Browner had like ridiculous like hand grip, hand strength. There was a play I remember watching a highlight of it on his little highlights thing, the tribute thing on YouTube. He literally grabs Barry Sanders at Barry Sanders is running full speed with one hand and just yanks him down for a loss of a yard. It is ridiculous how strong his hands were. So the horse collar thing, it's like hand in hand right there. No pun intended.
Shaq, I don't know if you know, but he played at your favorite college, USC.
Oh man, and he not in the Hall of Fame yet.
Not in the Hall of Fame yet. I mean,
we need to do something about that.
That'd be enough.
He got the pedigree, as we call it.
So, rest in peace to Seaman and Browner. The Vikings are going to win the Super Bowl this year for you fellas.
There we go.
Calling it now. I'm calling it now. And speaking of USC, the Vikings picked up Jordan Addison's 5th-year option, which will keep him under contract through the 2027 season, where he will make $18 million guaranteed in 2027. As of right now, $18 million in 2027 will make him around the 23rd highest paid wide receiver. By the time it comes around, he'll probably be closer to the 3rd highest paid. Did the Minnesota Vikings make the right move to go ahead and pick up his 5th-year option?
Yeah, I think so. 18 mil isn't that much when you look into consideration of things, and it's for 1 year, and you don't have to re-sign him right away. Let's say he has a down year, like he doesn't get that 1K again. Then you're like, okay, I paid 18 million for 1 year for you. I think this is your ceiling. I've been seeing 900-yard receiving yards each and every single year. I think that's your ceiling, and I can get rid of you. And then again, you can actually re-sign him in the middle of the year if he's off to an explosive start, to where the contract will be cheaper than it will be come free agency time. So it gives the Vikings leverage on Jordan Addison. I like the $18 million a year for him. Puts him right where I think he should be.
That's what I was going to actually ask too, Shaq. Do you think it's more likely now that he's part of the Vikings' long-term plans, or do you think maybe he actually becomes a little bit more tradable now that teams know, like, hey, we basically get this guy for 2 years for like $20 million?
I feel like it gives the Vikings leverage to go either way. I'm hoping it's basically a prove-it year, so they basically could start like tracking the money that they should give Addison. As in, if he does what they want him to do, they already have the guidelines, so you're not over here fumbling to the next off season like, well, shit, he went off. Now we gotta make a decision, and then the rest of the league know, well, we don't have the money to pay him up to $30 million a year. So it'd be best to, if he starts to go off like Cody was mentioning, start to look at the receiver tiers that he's in. And I'm guessing maybe, his contract should be at least 24 to 26 million a year. That's going to be probably a good estimate for high end receiver 2 numbers. And if it don't work out, we could always just trade him. And that $24 million contract, a lot of teams will still accept because he could still be number one on he could be a number one receiver on a lot of teams in the NFL.
See, I still can't get there. I mean, you've been saying that pretty much since he was a rookie that he could be a number one team on a lot of teams. I mean, a number one receiver on a lot of teams. And I don't know. I can see that. I think if he's your number one receiver, you probably don't have a very good receiving room. And that's not to talk smack. Like being a good wide receiver 2, being one of the best wide receiver 2s, that's high praise. And I think he is one of the best wide receiver 2s. And much to Tommy's dismay, I'm happy with getting him for $18 million in 2027. I am good with that. Like I thought his 5th-year option was actually going to be more than that, given what wide receivers are getting these days. When I saw it was $18 million, no brainer in my opinion. And Andrew, thank you for your super chat. We're going to answer that in a second, but I want to know how Fish feels about this. Jordan Addison.
I think you guys are mentioning leverage. And I'm going to use another word. Vikings now have flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
They have more options on the table. Me personally, of course, I don't think we need 2. I don't think we need a wide receiver 1A and 1B. I think we have the best wide receiver in the game. And we just we shouldn't have to need another wide receiver 1 on our roster. So I think that this is going to be a very interesting offseason. I think it would make trade possibilities more appealing to other teams because that $18 million 5th-year option is something that's a little more palatable. And if we decide to keep him and run with it, then we've got a pretty good wide receiver for $18 million. So we've got a lot of leverage, a lot of versatility, a lot of flexibility, and I think pretty much it's a broad horizon on what we can do with them. You really couldn't narrow it down on what you really think they're going to do with Jordan Addison right now.
Yeah, so you say that we don't really need 2 wide receiver 1s, but he is not getting close to wide receiver 1 money.
I know, but he will next year. I bet you he's going to be almost the same amount per year as Justin Jefferson signed. It's going to be close.
You think he's going to get 30+ million after that 18 million?
I think that the market's going to dictate it, man.
Well, I think we would all agree with you that we would be out at that price.
Oh yeah.
Right.
If he starts going off in the middle of the season, that's when you're going to re-sign him, right? That way you don't have to pay him up to what the market's going to be. So if they're waiting till end of the season, he's probably gone because they know that he hasn't met that threshold that they want.
So let me change gears a little bit here. Thank you, Andrew, for the super chat, who looks like he is a Packers fan, but he wants to know who finishes where in the NFC North, 1 through 4, Cody.
1 through 4. So right now, I have the Chicago Bears at 1, Minnesota at 2, Green Bay at 3, and Detroit down at 4. I think what I've been seeing, how Chicago was able to keep their offensive line and what they did in the 2 off seasons ago and built it up. I still think they're the team to beat in the North. I think the Packers lost some ground this offseason, and we kind of just stayed the same. So with the Packers losing ground, I think we bumped the Packers up. Even with the Kyler Murray thing, it lifts the ceiling up on the offense more, that we could be chasing down the Chicago Bears to win the division also. So it's going to be for me, Chicago, Minnesota, Green Bay, and then Detroit.
Tommy, I'm going to remember that. What do you got, Fish?
I am right there with Unc. Chicago, Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit, and that's with us being a 6-win team.
Damn. Oh, yeah, you got us at 6 wins, Fish. I'm going to remember that, too. That's no fishism either. That's just fish. That's where he's got us. What about you, Shaq?
Yeah, I gotta go with the same thing Cody said. I have Minnesota first, Chicago second, Green Bay third, and Detroit dead last in the division.
I think this is crazy, but we all got Detroit going last in the division, and I'm not gonna, go full Michael Fish here and say Detroit's ass. I mean, this could be a year where, if I don't know if it's mathematically possible, I think it is, where all four of us have double-digit wins. Like, I think this is going to be a tough division. It's going to come down to the end, but as of right now, I'm going to put the Bears in first place.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens in the draft. And then I got the Vikings and Packers battling it out for second place. And it's hard for me to call it if I'm trying to be real and not biased at all. I think that is going to be a very tough battle. And it's really going to come down to, when does Michael Parsons come back?
Yes,
He comes back at the beginning. That's going to be tough for us. But if Michael Parsons misses half of the season, I'm going to give us the edge on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely going to have the Lions finishing last and back where they belong. I mean, they finished last this season, and it's not like they were a terrible team. It's a tough division. It's going to be a tough division for a while. So, Andrew, let us know in the comments your order 1 through 4. And thank you for
thank you again for the super chat, Andrew.
So KOC did a little talking to reporters, as Fish mentioned in the intro, and a couple of interesting things came out of it. The first one, Blake Brandel. He basically said Blake Brandel is a center now. And I've said it time and time again, including last week. I truly believe the Vikings do have a top 10 offensive line. And every time I say that, I kind of forget we don't even have a center. That's just how good I feel about our guards and tackles. But we do need to address the center position. But it sounds like in KOC's mind, that position is addressed. He said, we want to have him more than likely at the center spot and build on some things that he did last year. Last year, he played 363 of his 604 snaps at center. You guys think that Brandel is going to be our center based off of what KOC said in 2026? Or do you think there's still someone out there in free agency or maybe in the draft?
I think he's our center. My bad, you go. I think he's our
Cody, you go ahead.
I think he's our center because he was the most consistent member on our offensive line combinations. Of all 26 of those combinations, he was only left off one of them. So it's crazy, and that must have shown that he has developed throughout that season last year in that giant mess where KOC does trust him. So it's definitely going to be Brandel as our starting center.
And I'll tell you what, we can find somebody who, somebody for the future and all that. But just think about it, man. A few years ago, Blake Brandel, he was a swing tackle. And I remember him doing a pretty fine job filling in for Darrisaw when he went down, which is a recurring thing. And then he went to guard, and he did all right at guard. And last year, he really solidified the middle of that offensive line at center. And I'm gonna tell you, man, it's a nod to how good a player is that they can literally play all three positions on the offensive line. So, I remember kind of having this argument with you guys back when we were drafting Donovan Jackson, that I said you don't have to be bulletproof on the offensive line. You can have one not as good member of the offensive line, like a guard, one, and your offensive line can be top 5 if the other 4 players are really good. And I feel like we're there. I feel like we're there. I feel like if Darrisaw is healthy, we got to, when healthy, a top 5 left tackle. I feel like Donovan Jackson, while I will not acknowledge that we didn't reach for him, he's really developing into something good. Blake Brandel is really solid. Will Fries is okay. And as a right tackle, Brian O'Neill is pretty good. I think.
Wow.
I still want to trade his ass. Brian O'Neill is pretty good. But So I think you don't have to be bulletproof. You just can't really suck, in like two positions. And I think so long as we stay reasonably healthy, they're going to be talking about us midway through the season as one of the best offensive lines.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I got us there. Top 10 already, but maybe go top 5 or something like that if we get the center thing figured out. If Brando can play like he played at the position, that'd be great. Shaq, you were probably one of the biggest detractors on Brando being our center. Have you come around?
Barely. I feel like you ever seen the Flex Seal commercial when they on the boat and he just slapped it on it? That's what I feel like we just do at the offensive line. He's like, you know what, Brandel? We know we paid you to be a swing tackle, and we drafted. We got Darisaw and we got Brian O'Neill, and we were supposed to make you a guard, but then we had to draft Donovan Jackson and we signed Will Fries. You just so happened to luck up, and Ryan Kelly suffered another concussion to the point where he retired, and now here's your job. You was always going to be our center. We just didn't know. We just didn't know it yet. So what I feel like the Vikings did, they just flex-sealed our offensive line, hoping it works. I'm not saying he can't be a good center. I'm just hoping they don't rest on their laurels. Pretty much. I'm just hoping they don't pretty much say break Brando's our center. We don't have to worry about it because I don't want him to be bad, but I want to have reinsurance in case, he doesn't pan out as a starting center in the NFL. So I don't mind him starting this year, but there's no legit elite centers in this draft. I did see an article, though, about moving a first-round tackle who could play interior, but I don't know if I want to draft a tackle and make him go to center unless he's going to be Marquise Pouncey year 1 or Matt Burke year 1. So right now I'm cool with Brando being our center.
I do like your analogy with the flex seal. It's funny, but at the same time, I feel like there were a couple centers out there in free agency and they didn't feel the need to go out there and get one. So I felt like it was somewhat planned. But like you said, I do hope they still draft one. And I don't think like if you go into the season, Blake Brando's our center, you don't not draft one. Like that doesn't prevent you from doing so. You're not worried about it. Like, you're willing to give competition to your number 10 overall pick quarterback. You can give competition to your swing tackle now turned center.
Mm-hmm. And then we got Cody guy backing him up. So I'm not real too confident. But I back up
Jurgens.
Mr. Lubiger himself.
Yeah, so I feel really good about our offensive line. KOC also got asked about the quarterbacks. Of course he did. Like, what else are you going to ask this coach about or anybody on this team about? It's all about what's going to happen at the quarterback. That's what everybody wants to see. It's what makes us an exciting team. It's why we should be on Hard Knocks. But he said that right now that they got to apply individual game plans to each of these guys and not really a competition yet. But, after they get through the initial phase of individual development, that's when the competition does start. So again, he's using the word competition as if there is one. Didn't necessarily say where the competition will be or what it's for, just that there will be competition. And he spoke about each quarterback and said a few things about them, some more flattering than others, in my opinion. But when he talked about Kyler, he talked about most just see him as a scrambler, but they don't really see him as a guy that can play in rhythm, even though he can. Mentioned that he has good fundamentals when dropping back. And KOC actually believes that his mobility is something that's going to help this team with play action. He said, the play action can be done in a lot of different ways. Offset, gun, pistol, under center. He's pretty dynamic. He's pretty dynamic in the keeper game too. The movement game, obviously, with his natural athleticism, I see a lot of ways that we'll be able to continue the evolution and evolve our offense here in year 5. That sounds pretty exciting. And it sounds like a lot of us had concerns about how's Kyler going to fit in KOC's offense. Doesn't sound like KOC's too worried about it.
No, I love this from the point of KOC's standpoint, because we've been telling KOC, you need to change. You need to change. Kyler Murray is kind of forcing him to change this offense. So every time we say, hey, you need to change, we get mad about it. But now we're getting mad about a quarterback that's going to make KOC have to change. It's kind of contradicting itself. So I like the Kyler move. I'm hoping for a good competition between all three of the quarterbacks, not just the two that we're thinking of.
What about all four?
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. He's selling cars at a car lot soon.
Who's our fourth quarterback?
He does not.
Oh, your guy, Max Brosmer. You were pumping him up all season long. Remember that?
Oh, he's still on the team?
I believe so. I mean, I guess if they did cut him, that probably isn't something that would make the news. They probably haven't even got announced it. They're just like, oh, he's not here. Okay.
I honestly forgot we have four quarterbacks. What I was gonna say was pretty much people tend to forget when KOC was coming into the NFL himself as a quarterback, he wasn't a pocket passer. He was actually labeled a dual threat quarterback. So I don't know why he wants to have a pocket passing quarterback when he himself wasn't even a pocket passing quarterback. And he should understand the concept of having a quarterback who could use his legs to extend plays. You don't have to necessarily be mobile, but just move around the pocket to extend the play is better than standing in the pocket tall, waiting for somebody to get open. Because chances
you want the answer to that question, Shaq? Because he was drafted and played on a team with Tom frickin' Brady. Yeah. There it is. That's why.
How many years?
Well, he's like, man, if I was just a pocket passing quarterback, I'd probably still be in the league right now.
Most of
they rely on me running.
Most of KOC's quarterbacks weren't pocket passer quarterbacks. They were mobile quarterbacks. If you look through them,
even considering Stafford. Stafford's more dual threat than being a straight pocket passer.
You sure about that?
Yeah. Go look at Stafford runs. He has a lot of runs. I ain't saying he's Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen.
Runs, I don't think that makes you not a pocket passer. Kirk's got some runs.
Yeah. I mean, just look at guys like you got Darnold, Dobbs, Hall, even McCarthy, and then you add in Kyler Murray. 50% of his quarterbacks were mobile.
And his mobile quarterbacks, except for Darnold, he shut down.
So who would you rather put in? The better mobile quarterback or J.J. McCarthy?
Don't understand the context of your question. I'm just saying that he doesn't like mobile quarterbacks. He wants somebody sitting back there reading the defense.
Then why draft one in the top 10?
Great question, Cody.
Save it for
it's almost like he might have drafted one and tried to turn him into something he's not, which is what he did with all those mobile quarterbacks you just listed.
Well, it's a good thing
we're talking about that quarterback who was drafted number 10 by KOC. And yes, I do believe KOC did make this pick. I don't think it was forced on him. Was it his first choice? No. We know it was Drake May. Did he want Penix? Maybe. But he did sign off on J.J. McCarthy, that's for sure. But after kind of giving the glowing review of Kyler, he was asked about J.J. McCarthy. And this is what he had to say. It's hard to imagine, but it's a healthy offseason for him. Slap in the face right off the bat. He spent his time out in California. He has since come back to Minnesota. He's been in the building, working out downstairs with the guys. He thinks JJ has gained some perspective. He knows what it feels like to go out there and do some things at a really high level. Now it's just about consistency. It's about being in a competitive situation, not necessarily any other reason than to continue the arc of trying to become the best player he could possibly become. I think it's going to be a really good offseason, and I think there's going to be a very competitive situation. What do you guys take from that?
Pretty much quarterback room looks 10 times better than it did last year. The fact that there was really no competition in quarterback room last year. We had Wentz, who didn't know the playbook, who's learning the playbook during the season. JJ McCarthy, who's learning the playbook and getting his feet back under him. And then you got Brosmer, UDFA. So he was like, we can't enter the season like we did last year, all off of high hopes. We need something that sticks. We need dry cement.
Yeah. I'm with Shaq on this. Like, literally the whole entire offseason, the quarterback battle was between McCarthy, Brosmer, and who's the Sam Howell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that was the quarterback competition last year. So what he is saying
there wasn't a competition last year.
It wasn't even a competition, right? It's bringing in someone that is going to be competition, even though JJ McCarthy is going to lose out. It's the quarterback room is way better than it was last offseason. We should have got Wentz, traded for him somehow before OTAs. Like having a complete quarterback room heading in OTAs will say dividends for this team. I'm with Shaq. That's what that comment means.
I will agree. The quarterback room is 10 times better than it was last year right now. I also think that there's going to be a fair shake in this QB competition. I mean, I watched that interview too, and when he talked about Wentz, he made it sound to me, to my ears. Go watch the interview with Sims and Florio to get your own perspective. Starts at about 5 minutes. First 5 minutes is competition committee stuff. He made it sound like Wentz was going to have to do what he could with the snaps that he was going to get, and that McCarthy and Kyler, whatever order, were going to get the majority of the 1-2 snaps. So, you know, he was as ambiguous as he could be, but he made it sound like he's going to give a fair shake. And may the best player win.
You really think that he's going to get a fair shake at quarterback one, JJ McCarthy?
I do.
I don't.
I'm not saying guaranteed he's going to win it, but I'm just saying that it is not Kyler Murray 1, JJ McCarthy 2, Wentz 3. It is not locked right now.
Oh, I don't think it's locked because we don't know who's quarterback 2. But I don't think there's anything outside of injury that keeps Kyler Murray from starting week 1.
I'm saying
Dad, you made it back.
I'm saying $1.3 million could be the reason why he might not be starting. If McCarthy is better than Kyler coming off this offseason program, he will be the starter. Because cutting $1.3 million is pennies on the pocket that you can just get rid of, right? Or you can trade to a quarterback needy team that says, well, maybe they miss out on a quarterback this year's draft, and you can just trade him, and it's $1.3 million to that team. So it's I think it's going to be a fair competition, but like Fish saying, it's not going to be a real competition.
I don't like this, Sparky. I've got it. They play Wentz when they pass and play Murray when they run the ball and use JJ for interceptions.
Yeah.
Good call.
I don't like that, Sparky. I'm sorry. There's no way that a healthy Kyler Murray is not starting quarterback week 1.
Cody's $1.3 million take that he just gave is a take I came up with last night also. There's no investment in Kyler Murray. If we had invested something in him, oh yeah, hell yeah. I mean, even if it was like $10, $12 million, something like that, I'd say, oh yeah, Kyler Murray's going to start. But that 1.3.
That 1.3 that Kyler could have gave to anybody.
You're right.
But he gave it to the first team, and you think that came without some kind of guarantee?
No, I mean, Keith, if you don't remember, we do have the best facilities.
So you're telling me,
yeah, but we don't have good chicken nuggets.
So you're telling me KOC, if McCarthy shows out to be better than Murray, you're telling me KOC is not going to play McCarthy, the better quarterback, if he gets better.
That's my whole thing.
Who's that question asked to?
It's anybody. Keith mainly. Like,
sorry, Okay, go ahead. Ask me that question again. I was reading the comments, and this guy paid for his question. So go ahead, Cody.
If JJ McCarthy comes off this offseason program and shows that he is better in practice, better throughout the offseason, you don't think KOC is not going to play the better player?
I don't think he's gonna get the opportunity to do that.
Why not? We did it when we had Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy. Wasn't we splitting first team reps?
I mean, JJ was getting less than Darnold, and now you got Wentz out there. Like, no, there is no way that Kyler Murray is not healthy. Kyler Murray is not starting week 1. Yes, he did, Tommy. If you guys didn't watch, Fish was on with Rap last night on Vocal Vike. You should go check that out. And if you're not subscribed to Vocal Vike already, you should be doing that. He's one of the best in the damn game.
Yeah, there you go, Sparky.
So Andrew asks, one reason why the Vikings will go to the Super Bowl and one reason why they'll go 3-14, excluding the quarterback position.
KOC's play calling.
That's for both of them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say a regression of the defense. That'll be why we're going 3-14, because we've been seeing this on and off again, offense on and off against defense. It's always a 180 turnaround each and every season. I don't want to see him doing a 180 this year where the offense is great, but the defense is bad, right? And then that's why we'll go 3-14 is the regression of the defense. A reason why they go to the Super Bowl is going to be Kyler Murray.
That's not excluding the quarterback position.
It's going to be Justin Jefferson. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson gets his groove back. Why I got the Vikings going to the Super Bowl is opposite of Cody. I got it because of the defense. I think our defense was solid last year, and I think it's going to be solid again this year. And they're going to have a supporting cast on the offense that they didn't have. So it's totally because of the defense why we'll go to the Super Bowl. Why would we go 3-14? This team doesn't go 3-14. I'm sorry. There's been times I wanted us to go 3-14 or 3-13. We just don't, and we won't. Like I don't even got to knock on wood. I'm not even worried about cursing that. That's just not the way this team operates. That should have been last year. Last year should have been like a 3-4 win. But what do? We go win the last 5 games of the season. We're not a team that wins 3-14. A reason why that we won't make the playoffs would be health. The only thing that's going to keep us from making the playoffs is health. Other than that, we're going to the playoffs, and I think this team has a better chance to win the Super Bowl than going 3-14.
That's all I gotta
say
about that. I'm going up on you. I'm going to say this team has the best chance to win the Super Bowl in the NFC North.
Did you have us first place in the 1-4?
I did not.
He did. You had us. You said Vikings, Bears.
They could challenge the Chase the Bears. They challenged it now. I had the Bears first.
Oh, yeah, the Bears first. Oh, yeah. Shit.
And Cody the week before, Tommy.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question that's been on my mind. We're talking about defense real quick. You know, I think a lot of us are talking about the Vikings drafting, at least in the front of this draft, pretty defensive heavy, whether it be a cornerback or whatever have you. How do you think that works with B-Flow not liking to play rookies?
I feel like it honestly depends on the position we go and how much football IQ that rookie has. Most of the defensive rookies we did get for B-Flow, they was more so raw, versatile players like Dallas Turner and Ingram Dawkins, or I'll say even Lewis Seen. All those players was raw and they had to be developed. They wasn't really like smart IQ type of guys. So I feel like if we get a guy who has like some football knowledge and more so smart than just athletic, then he'll probably play that player because that means he knows how to do more in the scheme versus B-Flow having to find a way to adjust his scheme to that player.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he necessarily doesn't like playing rookies as long as they can hold their own. And to this point, we haven't drafted anybody on defense that came in as a rookie. Like, oh man, this guy could play ball. We haven't had that yet. This could be that year.
And this year,
get one of these cornerbacks and he could play. That guy's starting.
And this year we didn't go out in free agency and get a bunch of veteran players like we did that year we drafted Dallas Turner, right? We got Ginkle, Greenard the same year, 2 edges, and then we drafted Turner. So this year, I think he might be forced to play some of them rookies in the spots, especially even if Harrison Smith comes back at that safety position.
Yep. Well, since we're already talking draft, let's go ahead and get into the draft portion of this show. And Ian Rappaport had made a tweet, or he was talking on TV, and it became a tweet where he said the Vikings are expected to go best player available at 18. He knows the Vikings like to take care of their needs in free agency and then be able to draft BPA. How do you guys feel overall about BPA strategy, and how do you feel about it in this particular draft for the Vikings?
So my thing with that is pretty much it's best player available for need. They forget the for need part because we don't always go best player available, because even though I like the Donovan Jackson pick, he was not the best player available on the board. So
I agree. But how do you feel about the true BPA strategy, especially in the first round? And how would you like that the Vikings do deploy that this year?
So it works, but it doesn't always guarantee a Super Bowl or deep playoff success, because you could take the Ravens, for instance. They usually go best player available regardless of the position. And it usually works out for them. They get a stud player, but that doesn't always equate to winning games. It just means they got a stud player. So sometimes you just gotta get the best need. Sometimes you gotta address your needs, because drafting the best player available doesn't always guarantee you win a Super Bowl.
Fish, take your shirt off.
I'm about to, man. What is going on with that?
You got demonetized.
Is this April Fool's?
This is crazy. So, guys, I remember us, one of the things about the way we were arguing about specifically the Donovan Jackson pick is I remember us prior to having this type of conversation. Do you want BPA or do you think we should draft for need? And I feel like what we called out before, and I'm blaming myself for this too, what we called out before in our thought on the ideology, when we were arguing about the Donovan Jackson, we all swapped sides. It was like it went against what we were saying before. We were arguing for the opposite. I think we need to draft for need. We have a lot of needs, so what will probably happen is us drafting for need will probably fit in with who is the best player available, because we do have quite a few of them. But I think draft for need. If you're sitting at 18 and the best player available is an edge rusher, I don't think we need that. I don't think we need that, and we shouldn't take it. If we can't trade back a couple of spots to make it fit the whole BPA thing, then we just look at, if there's a cornerback that's a couple players back on the depth chart of best player available, we just take them. And that's drafting for a need.
Get it. Who says Donovan Jackson wasn't the best player available last year? But who behind him was better?
Will Johnson.
Huh?
Will Johnson.
Will Johnson.
The same Will Johnson that got exploded on all year from that left tackle position? That guy?
No.
You're thinking of the wrong Will Johnson.
the corner from not the corner from Michigan,
Michigan.
that's on the Cardinals.
Yeah, what did he make?
No knees.
No knees, Will Johnson?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
round did he go?
He went second.
Beginning of the second.
Okay.
He fell.
30
And-
other picks away. But I'm saying, like, Donovan Jackson played a really good year last year.
He did.
He finished out really good. He did not start out really good. Don't say he had a really good year last year. He had a really good half of the year last year. And he
had a really
lost
good year.
how many games was he out for a hand
rookie
injury?
season. Really good rookie season.
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah,
probably the
injuries.
best player available at that time in that first round. And
I
to
think
go-
you're ludicrous.
well, a lot of people think you're ludicrous for the Kyler Murray thing too. But we're going to go on with the BPA thing, right? So this year, and like last year, I think BPA just falls to us into a position of need. Like right now, our biggest need is defensive line and safety. And where we're sitting at in the draft, the best player available are within those position groups. Average draft position will fall to us. Just like last year with Donovan Jackson, we needed a guard. We really needed a guard. We're missing that. And it just so happened to fall for us from that need. So I do think we've been drafting BPA. I just think that BPA has fallen to us while we needed that position of need.
Yeah, I think BPA is good when you have an established team. We have a lot of needs. I'd be mad if there's a cornerback or a safety there that I feel like, man, that's what we need on this defense. But they go wide receiver because the BPA is a wide receiver. I'm sorry. I know someone said Randy Moss earlier. There's no Randy Moss in this draft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Nah.
I definitely
Suddenly Ted Hurst becomes Randy Moss.
Hey, well, F me, right? I mean, I want to go BPA on defense. Like any position on defense, I'm actually okay with. Like I prefer it to be a cornerback or a safety, but defensive tackle, sure. I don't know that there's a linebacker worthy of it. Maybe Sonny, but best player available on defense, I'm with that.
Yeah.
But don't give me a wide receiver at 18. I'm sorry. I don't want that.
How about a running back at 6?
Well,
I'm gonna say no to that too, because of what you got to give up.
everybody's BPA is different, especially when you come down to the half end of the first round. Like it's all over the place. Right now, our BPAs is what we see off PFF and all these mock draft databases, right? So the Minnesota Vikings could value someone as their best player available than a different team down the line could.
That's true.
All right, Cody. Yes or no? Do you think Harrison Smith comes back this year? Shaq, yes or no?
I'm going yes. I think he comes back.
Fish, yes or no?
Yeah. He'd have announced it.
Yeah.
He was eloquent enough to give Ham his space at the end of the season. But there's been enough time in between there where he could have said, I'm hanging it up. But it's been, almost 3 months since our season ended. He had all the time in the world where he could have retired. He didn't. He's had plenty of gaps where he could have taken his time to say, I'm done. He didn't. He's coming back. He's running one more time. The worst thing he could do is not announce it, wait for us to draft, not take a top tier safety, and then after the draft say, I'm retiring. That would be a kick in the balls to us.
Oh, I'm not worried about that at all. I don't think Harrison Smith coming back changes our draft plans at all.
I think the draft plans change Harrison Smith's decision. That's why I'm going to say no, because we do draft a safety this draft.
Okay. Sorry, Theo.
Sorry, Theo. You're just not good.
Yeah, I don't think that's sorry, Harrison Smith. It's like, oh, wow, you get to learn under one of the best safeties ever play the game.
And then the perfect time would have been to hop on the Dylan and Ham retirement interview, and Smith wasn't on there. So I'm pretty sure Dylan asked him, if he wanted to be on there, so it could be the three of them because they all had multiple seasons with the Vikings playing together.
Oh, Tommy, I'm not. No, I don't think he will play anywhere but here. I think his legacy as being a Viking for as long as he's been a Viking and only being a Viking would mean more than going out there and ring chasing. Like, I think there is part of him that is absolutely ready to retire. But if he feels like, okay, with the Vikings, there is a chance this year, then I think that kind of lures him out of where he was once leaning. I do think he was leaning heavily into retirement. But I think with B-Flow deciding to come back, keeping most of the defense intact. Obviously, the biggest bugaboo was quarterback. They addressed that. I think he feels like, all right, last year, that doesn't count. I can't go out like that. I think he's leaning towards coming back now. He's not going to play anywhere else.
Word up.
Only place he's going is a fishing boat.
Or a helicopter.
All right, well, it's time to let Shaq school us on some prospects. Last week, we looked at 5 cornerback options for the Vikings in the draft. This week, we're going to look at another much-needed position, defensive tackles. Where does defensive tackle land on your guys' needs list? Fish, we're talking about BPA and drafted for needs. Where would defensive tackle rank on your need list? Number 1, Fish? Number 1, Cody?
Yep.
So you guys got defensive tackle above the secondary?
Yes.
Yeah, because who do we have a defensive tackle right now? We got Redmond.
We got Redmond.
TID. We're not going to run like a 2-man front the whole game.
We run 2-man front a lot of the game, though. I feel like we're missing somebody. Levi. Don't have the Levi disrespect.
That one-trick pony.
Elijah Williams.
Big Dub. Man.
That's a position I'm surprised we didn't bring in a veteran, which we still can. There's still a secondary market out there. But I'm surprised we didn't bring in like a $5 million guy. Something like a Calais Campbell, like that's who I've been on big time. Calais Campbell.
Well, I think I'm coming around to him, Keith. I was against the thought of having him because, he is long in the tooth and I mean, Father Time's undefeated. But, I think you've really talked me into giving Calais Campbell one run in the right shade of purple. Good on you, buddy.
I agree. And Shaq mentioned DJ Reader. He's still out there. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there are guys out there, but I am surprised we didn't address that with at least, like a $5 million guy. I'm not saying – I don't even know if there was like a really big one. But if we're going to go to the draft.
So the first guy, he was actually a top 30 visit. I know Cody's big into, having us get the top 30 players. First guy I'm going to talk about is Jacobian Guillory. The second from LSU, 24 years old. So he is a little up there in age, 6'2", weighed 325. He is projected to go 5th or 7th round. So he's not going to cost us a high draft pick. So I think the 5th or 7th round, he's going to be more so a rotational player. Once our starting defensive tackles get tired, he can come in and alleviate some reps from them. He's going to be more so a nose tackle. Most of these defensive tackles I'm going to be talking about are actually nose tackles because I feel like we got the pass rushing defensive tackles already on the roster. That's why we got rid of Hargrave and John Allen. So what Guillory brings to the team is he's strong lower body. He has good core strength. He holds his ground against double teams. He's difficult to move off the line of scrimmage. He has okay interior disruption. He can push the pocket with a bull rush. He has shown flashes of collapsing the interior of the pocket. In 2025, he had 4 tackles for a loss. And his best trait is basically his run defense. Some negatives about him, though, is he has limited pass rush production. He only had 1.5 sacks. He mostly wins with power and no technique. He has inconsistencies. And some games you could watch of his is against Florida, Texas A&M. And why I think he fits the Minnesota Vikings is because he is strong versus the run, can occupy blockers, and he'll be a rotational depth piece. So he's not going to be somebody, he's not going to be a star for us, but he'll be a great, guy to come in, kind of like how we had used maybe Taki, or even when we drafted the other LSU guy from I can't remember his name, during B-Flow's first year with us.
Jaquelin Roy.
Yeah, Jackie Roy.
Jackie Roy.
So Fish, you're gonna appreciate this guy because he's a former power lifter, 740-pound squat, 370-pound bench press, 625-pound deadlift, and he's a big fat nose tackle. Now the guy,
my sources tell me that B-Flow doesn't like a true nose tackle, but yes, I would be all right with this.
Yeah, I was talking about Fish, not B-Flow.
There are about 8 defensive tackles in this draft, spread throughout the draft, where I would be all right getting them, and this is one of them. I'm a little weirded out by the fact that his squat is better than his deadlift, though, because the squat's a bit more of a complex movement where the weight's situated. It's interesting, but I've long been saying that I don't give a shit about how much an offensive or defensive lineman can bench press. I want to see what they can do on the deadlift or the squat. He passes the muster. I don't need a lot of technique. I need the ability to engage a double team at the point of attack and just hold 2 offensive linemen in place so everybody else can do their job and get after the running back. I don't need a lot of statistics. It'd be nice to have somebody that could, but if this guy's just, for example, a first and second down defensive tackle, we get him somewhere around the 5th or 6th round, happier than a pig in slop.
I mean, that's exactly what he is. He's a guy that occupies 2 blockers and everybody else eats. Like, he's not a guy, you look at his stats, they don't jump off the board. 20 tackles last year, 1.5 sacks. He only had 2 sacks in college. Like, that's not his game. His game is to take up space and collapse the pocket and let, everybody else eat, which I think that works well in a Brian Flores defense. Those linebackers, you could start having a middle linebacker get double-digit sacks. So, yeah, it definitely wouldn't be a sexy pick, but it's something, that would translate in the game.
I would call it a highly functional pick.
And for him to be drafted with only starting 5 games also says that there is still a lot of development his way that needs to be done. And if he has those stats and what he does in those 5 games he started, it might be a really good idea to draft a development piece right there to learn alongside Jalen Redmond, because even Jalen Redmond still has some development to go to on the defensive line.
Next, we got
a big man.
Next, we got a player I looked up. I thought Fish might be interested in Dante Corleone, nicknamed the Godfather. Plays like the boss of the trenches. He is 6'1", 320 to 335. I'm going to get into that a little later. His play style, he is an elite run stuffing nose tackle with rare power and surprising quickness. As you can see, his awards, he was part of the big, he won big best defensive tackle in the Big 12. When you draft him, this is what you get. He's impossible to move off the ball. He eats up double teams consistently. He controls both A gaps at times. He's great with his leverage and power. Has low center of gravity. Massive lower body strength. He wins with his pad level. He has great quickness for his size. His short area burst is better than expected. He can shoot gaps in the run defense. He's not just a statue. He can actually get in the backfield. What I really like about him is he has high football IQ and awareness, meaning basically for him, he reads blocking schemes quickly and he can recognize when guards are pulling for a zone concept. So he can position himself well and stop the run plays. Some of his weaknesses, though, are he has short arms. He has conditioning issues. There's been times where he was weighing close to 340 or 350. And he has a medical history of blood clots. Games you could watch is against Colorado, against Baylor, and against Arizona.
What are you thinking,
Let me
Fish?
tell you something. I'm going to tell you right now exactly how I feel about this guy. This guy right here, this big Mama Luke right here. If we draft this guy, don't nobody know nothing. This guy is going to tear up those offensive lines. He is going to eat like my cousin Big Tony at an all-you-can-eat buffet. I would call him my defensive tackle 3 in this draft. This would be such a great pickup for us. It would be so against everything we've done, where we've got just this big, dominant defensive tackle who can just kill offensive linemen and break their willpower. I tell you, I will shed a tear of joy, and I will make more appearances on this show if we draft the godfather of defensive tackles. Addison.
Very surprising. That is his nickname, the Godfather. And the Godfather is an elite run stopper. So you're probably not going to see a lot of sacks from him, but it seems like that's a place where the Vikings actually need to get better, is stopping the run at the point of attack and not letting them get to the second, third levels. So I would welcome a defensive tackle, even though it's not as sexy as a guy that's getting the sacks. So yeah, I'd be down for this, but second to third round, man. Like
I have him projected to go 3rd to 5th. That's my
like fifth
my
round.
rank
That's kind of where I'm at, and I'd be like stoked with it. Like fifth round.
Yes, you got to remember there's a lot of picks. Once the 3rd round hits, you got a lot of those compensation picks. So it's like we might not be able to get him in the 4th or so.
Yeah, I have him like Caleb Banks. He's got a super high ceiling, but you know that floor is really, really low. So just Unc just said it best: boom or bust.
What fits? Why he fits the Vikings defense is he's an elite run stuffer. We won't have to worry about runs up the middle or our defensive line getting pushed back into our linebackers. He can occupy blockers for blitz heavy schemes, hint, which is what the Vikings run, blitz heavy. And he can anchor the middle of the line on early downs, which is, those first 2 downs that dictate the drive. Those first 2 downs is how basically offenses are planning to, get the first. If you can shut down the first 2 downs, then you can get in a passing down and then let B-Flow go crazy with his scheme. Next, we have Dominique Orange, a.k.a. Big Citrus. He is 6'3", 320 to 335 pounds. Massive interior anchor with surprising movement skills. He has elite size and anchor, great foot run defense, huge frame with natural strength. He absorbs double teams. He is also hard to move off the line. His power at the point of attack is great. He has strong hands and upper body strength. He can reset the line of scrimmage, wins leverage battles consistently. When he locks in, offensive lineman gets stuck to him. He is scheme versatile, can play 0 tech or 1 tech. he fits both even and odd fronts. So if B Flow wants to mix it up, because we technically run a 3-4, but B Flow also runs 4-3 sometimes in different fronts. He has a high motor for his size, basically meaning like even when he's getting blocked, he's not going to give up on the play. He's not going to just let the offensive lineman keep blocking him. He's going to keep fighting till the play's over. Some cons on him, though, is he has limited pass rushing moves. Pretty much, he doesn't have a full pass rush arsenal yet. And he can play a little high with his pad level, basically meaning he's not getting all his strength to leverage against the offensive line. Games you can watch is against the Iowa Hawkeyes, Wisconsin, and Michigan, Ohio State. Cody, I know you're an Iowa Hawkeyes fan. Can you tell us anything you seen when you watch your team play against Iowa State?
Yeah, because his best game of last year was against the Iowa Hawkeyes. He made this year's nation's top center award winner he beat him like a stepchild. He just smoked Logan Jones every single time. He had 6 tackles. And 3 of them were in the backfield for tackle for losses. He ended up winning the Bednarik award for the best interior defensive line for that week. And that's saying a lot going up against the nation's best center, right? Just smoking him every single play. And this is when I first caught on to him. I was like, who is this guy? And they call him Big Citrus. It's all they could say all game long. And this dude just ate us up, just smoked our running backs. He literally one-handedly held our running backs at 3.4 yards rush a carry, which is unheard of from the Iowa system, which we run the ball a lot. And then Iowa State ended up smoking us too. So yeah, I like Dominique Orange. I love his nickname and I love the motor that he comes with. My biggest con on him is towards the end of the year, he kind of just gave up a little bit, and I don't like seeing that. But other than that, this guy is the run stuffer that I think we need on this team.
I agree. Yeah, another run stuffer. He only had 1 sack in 50 games, so don't expect too much of that from him. But again, that first line of attack on defense, we haven't been good at, and that's why we got rid of Jonathan Allen and Hargrave, because they weren't helping the run game at all. What we got next?
Next, we have
my guy,
Lee Hunter for Texas Tech, 24 years old, 6'4", 318. Projected to go, I'll say he could go into the first round, but I'm thinking second round is more likely for him. He is an explosive interior disruptor with real pass rush upside. So out of all the defensive tackles I'm going to talk about tonight, he has the highest upside for having pass rush ability. He has a quick first step, can win with penetration. He flashes his swim and rip moves. He is a true disruptive 3-tech type, but he's a nose tackle. He has great bursts off the line, explodes out of his stance. He shoots gaps quickly. He forces offensive linemen to react to him. He has great power and length combo. He can convert speed to power. He collapses the pocket when he is engaged. One thing I did like about him is he uses his hands, and he knows how to use his hands. Basically, if you're good with using your hands in the trenches, you could control the blocker, or, if you're on the offensive line, you could control the defender. So for him, when he uses his hands, he basically could keep the offensive lineman, guard or center, at arm's length, and he could look in the backfield and see what's going on. And when he's ready, he could disengage, toss the guard or center, and then go get the running back or go get the quarterback. He is scheme versatile. He could play 3-tech, 4-eye, or even nose tackle in sub packages. He fits aggressive defensive fronts, which we are. His only cons I've seen was he could be a little over aggressive, basically meaning he could over pursue sometimes when he get in the backfield. So he's gonna have to learn some gap discipline and pretty much get some more football IQ to get him to the top tier. Games you could watch are against TCU and Oregon. So Fish, I know you was big on him. You could give us your thoughts on Lee Hunter from Texas Tech?
That guy's a monster. That is defensive rookie of the year if we draft him.
Oof.
What stands out, Fish? Like I know you called his name out like a month or two ago. What was it?
Versatile play and being really good at all of it. Like he was good at standing up the block. They were probably like Corleone and Citrus would probably be like better at that one part of the game slightly, but then he just shifts gears. He has got a first. That's what got me was watching his. Just when I even put on his highlights, as soon as I saw his first step, and the dude's got pass rush moves. He can rip. I mean, a defensive tackle in the middle that can dip and rip is outstanding. He's got a good swim move. He's got a burst. So he can be stout, like real stout, and he can just get after it. Defensive rookie of the year if we draft him. He's playing next to Redmond. Oh, my gosh. They will be a force.
I like him, but he better not come here trying to wear number 2. I don't want to see number 2 on the defensive line.
Don't we have somebody wearing number 2?
That bugs me, man.
What's Isaiah Rogers' number?
Yeah, no, he's got number 2. But I'm just saying, I don't want to see a single digit on the offensive line. That bugs me, man. I really does. It shouldn't.
The thing is, he don't play on offensive line.
So, like I mentioned earlier, he's projected to go into the first round. Hopefully, in the second round, I wouldn't mind taking him with our second round pick because I know he will probably play this year. He probably won't start, but he'll get a lot of reps this year for this defensive line. And like Fish was alluded to, having Lee Hunter, Dallas Turner, Van Ginkel. Don't know what we're gonna do with Gennard, but I'm gonna throw in Gennard for now. Gennard, Cashman, and my favorite Eric Wilson. All those players on that defense, forget covering. You don't know who's coming and attacking your offensive line. So that just, it gives me hope that this defense could go. We have so much to become, top 3, top 2 if we draft right players.
3rd down and 6+ suddenly becomes hell.
Pretty much.
And last
but not least, we got the number 1 nose tackle in this draft, Caden McDonald. 6'3", 320 to 330, and that's healthy 320 to 330 weight. He's powerful, explosive interior defender with run stopping strength and developing pass rush upside, kind of like his former teammate Talik Williams. He has great power and anchor, elite run defense, strong base and lower body, absorbs double teams. He's also hard to move off his spot. He's explosive off the snap. He got a quick first step. He flashes disruptive ability. He's not just a plugger. He can attack the backfield. He has great size and athleticism combo, a blend of mass plus movement. He moves better than most defensive tackles his weight range. He got good lateral mobility for his size. So basically, if you're going against an outside zone scheme, teams aren't going to be able to just run away from it easily because usually, like, if you have a good run stuff and defensive tackle, all they're going to do is try to run to the outside towards the tackles and basically try to eliminate you from going up the middle, but he could get to the outside. He is physical and violent. He has strong hands. He plays aggressive. He finishes tackles with his authority. He has great upside as a pass rusher, using push and pull and his bull rush. The only issue I could see on him was he plays high at times, which can mess up with his strength. So if we can get him to play with better pad level, he could be even better with his strength. Games you could watch: Penn State and Michigan.
Yeah, I like McDonald. He's probably the only defensive tackle in this draft that I'd be okay taking at number 18. I know people will say Caleb Banks, but with the injury and him not being McDonald, probably not. Even Lee Hunter.
You know what I like the most about Hunter and him? They are both just ugly. They just look like they belong in prison. And they look like they kill you. He's my DT too, man. If we took him, I would not be sad at all. I would be happy. I'd be pouring champagne all over myself. I'd love it, man.
Yeah, nah, he's DT1 for me. And like I said, he's the only one that I'd be okay with taking in the first round out of all the defensive tackles available in this draft, because I do think we can get a good one in the second or third round. The only thing that worries me about him is it's really a 1-year sample size. But, I mean, he is really young too, though, so that is upside.
He's a beast. There's a highlight. There's a highlight. He throws the running back like 6 yards backwards in the backfield, just slings him across it. He's my number 1 DT, just like you, Keith. The dude's a monster.
Like it's kind of like Pat Williams. Like, yes, he's a really big guy, but he's athletic. Like, you're gonna see him get into the backfield.
So basically, why he fits our B-flow defense is he can stop the run and he penetrates. He fits the aggressive attacker front nature that we have, creates interior pressure for blitz schemes, and he's scheme versatile. He can play the nose or he could play the end for us on this 3-4 defense. So going over the list of defensive tackles, basically the order I have it for us, if we was to take, would be the ideal fits. Tier 1, it would be Lee Hunter, Caden McDonald. These are the actual targets who could help our defense immediately. Then we have tier 2, who would basically be situational. Dante Corleone, who's basically going to be the first 2 downs, and then he'll get off the field because I don't see him having that stamina to be a pass rusher and play long term throughout the whole game. And then we got tier 3, which basically is just going to be rotational pieces. Big Centris and Jacoby and Gilrear.
All right.
I'm happy.
You got to see a bunch of fat guys.
Man, some really good ones.
Yeah.
Any one of those guys drafted in the right spot, I would be ecstatic.
This is a really stacked defensive tackle class too. Like, this is probably the best defensive tackle class we've seen in the past 15 years of drafts. Like,
Cody, you know what's crazy is it's crazy how people have different, because I've heard people who are, kind of involved in being like, press for the NFL, talking about how this is a weak defensive tackle class. Now, what the hell are you watching?
Yeah.
I mean, damn.
It's because there's no I forgot the guy from last year from Michigan, my boy.
Mason Graham.
Mason Graham. There's no Mason Graham, and that's usually what a lot of people base it on. That
last year's
top end prospect, but not every draft class is going to have that elite defensive tackle. So it kind of takes away from the rest of the class.
Yeah, I mean, there's dudes you can get in like the 6th and 5th round too, like a Capehart, Christian Miller, even from Georgia, is a dog. There's so many dudes out there. Mike Eastern from Minnesota is a 7th round gem that you can get to. Like, there is some.
I saw somebody in the chat saying that they had Miller as like their DT1 or DT2 in this draft.
Yeah, DT2. That would, yeah.
Yeah, he's like DT6 for me.
Well, fellas, let's do something that we haven't done yet.
Admit we were wrong. No,
So we haven't done a mock draft yet on this show, and we are officially in mock season. And Fish, I hate to disappoint you, but I do not have the sounder.
I wanna mock you like a hurricane.
No, you tried to turn it into it, but you went with the other one.
I know.
mock you like a hurricane.
I'm on my 4th Modelo, so don't mind.
You don't shoot Big Red, then mock you.
So we haven't done a mock together, so we might argue a little bit because we're gonna have to come to a consensus on what we're gonna do here. So before I hit this enter draft, I'm not changing any of the settings. I'm gonna go with what they have. As we do more mocks throughout these next few weeks, we can mess with the settings, but I'm gonna leave them as is.
Can you at least change the speed so we get time to think?
I mean, I put it on fast instead of turbo.
Oh man, thanks,
Shaq's thinking about trading up.
I mean, can I adjust it as it goes on?
No,
Like I don't want to be
that's gonna take forever.
You can pause and speed it up.
Are we doing
slow in this like 6th round?
What's faster than slow?
Are we doing trades or we're just sticking and picking?
Yeah, that's good right there.
We could do some trades, but they got to be realistic. I'm not going to do this where we trade back 3 times in the 1st round and now we have 13 picks.
Yeah, stockpiling picks is bad.
I feel attacked.
Look at history. Stockpiling picks is not a good thing.
So
Why we need Colin Hamilton when you get a starting safety and a starting corner?
Hey, that safety was a defensive MVP of the national.
do we want to
championship
offer a
contract.
trade before we get going, or go ahead and start this thing?
You can start it. You gotta see
All
how
right,
the draft
so
plays out.
You're gonna have to be really quick if you want me to pause. So first 4 picks: Fernando Mendoza to the Raiders, Ruben Bain to the Jets, Sonny Styles 3rd overall to the Cardinals. That's a shocker to me, guys. Am I tripping? Did I miss something where he shot up like that? I mean, I know he's like a mid 1st rounder, but number 3 overall.
They're saying after the combine he can go top 5.
Sheesh.
Before Reese.
Even Luke Kuechly didn't go top 5.
So I stopped it after the Titans. Do we want to go ahead and resume this thing?
Yeah, stop it at the Browns.
At the Browns or after the Browns?
At.
Trying to get Jeremiah Love here. Oh, he's gone.
I
He wasn't making it past the Giants, Shaq.
you gotta be sure.
I don't see the Giants doing it.
I don't see them doing it either.
They're going best player available.
They did.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and resume this thing and probably just let it go to us, right?
And jump up the speed.
I mean, I guess
what?
there's one more player we
speed.
might want to trade for.
Go to 10. See what happens at 10.
He's gonna go the Jets or the Cowboys.
There it went.
He went number 8.
Damn it.
And there goes Lemon too to the Chiefs, Shaq.
Yeah, I want him to go to the Chiefs.
Cardell Tate, Deannaman.
Yeah, new Cowboys.
Delane went 14. McCoy's gone at 15. We're on the clock, and there's some good players.
Oh, I know who I want.
Yeah.
I know who I want, so we're probably gonna argue. But who is it, Shaq?
We need the next Quentin Nelson. Give me alone.
You're going guard here.
Look,
When we meet
talked
again,
about it.
Shaq, I'm gonna kick your ass.
Look, we talked about it. We can't just flex seal. We just need to go best player available.
I swear to
If he's
God, I'm
best
gonna
player
roll you
available-
around on
Okay,
a
flex
gravel
deal,
road.
but guard. We just took a first rounder last year, and we got an $80 million guard on the other side.
Like
Where's this
Cody
guy
was
gonna
talking about
play?
earlier, best player available, and he's clearly the best player available.
This is
on
the
the
best
board.
player
And
available.
what did I say, Jack? What did
I swear to
say?
God, I'm gonna roll
not
you
with
around on
that.
hot coals.
Yeah, this is best player available on PFF's mock draft. This isn't my best player available. My best player available is right there, sitting from Toledo at safety.
I'm
Just so happens
joking.
to
I'm
fall
joking,
to-
by the way.
So I'm with Cody. I'm on it. Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I'm willing to look at trades right here if you guys want to.
So
We do
Yeah,
have
Let's
one
look at it. Let's look at the trade because I'm on Terrell.
that's what I was looking at. I wanted to see how far back would we have to
See,
move.
that's the thing.
in case we
I'm
get our
McNeil
players.
and Terrell, so I feel like if we trade back, one of them are still going to be there. So the Cowboys have picked 20, so we'd only move back 2. We probably not getting much from them. I doubt we can get that 92.
Who's next?
They got the Texans at 28, and they have
We ain't getting neither.
I don't know, maybe 69.
God, that feels too far, but okay.
I think Dallas is your best bet because they just picked.
Whoa, 59. Can we get? So we're not going to get 38, probably. Yeah.
I feel like,
go-
yeah, Dallas would be our best bet if you want to get one of those two players, because at 28, there's a high chance that neither one.
They're
of them-
gone, right?
Yeah, I
They're
feel like
gone.
that's too far.
You're right. They're gone.
Dallas picked up Dylan Thieneman, a safety, and I don't think
There we go.
I mean, is this realistic here though? We take 20, 92, and 112.
No,
I mean, give them pick 97,
yeah, you can flip
pretty sure-
97 back to him.
and they'll give us that. That'd be realistic.
I come 163.
I mean, that works for me. I was just trying to be more realistic. See,
Shoot the trade, man. See if they'll take that without the 97.
Oh, without the
I
97?
mean, yeah. I would rather just get rid of the 112 and keep our 97.
Or you can just take away the 92 and keep the 112. I think it
20
should
and
be a
92
fair
for
buy.
18.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it depends on who they really want. They might be willing to trade for that. Whoever's on the board.
I mean, 92. I think this is fair value. To be honest, I don't think this is a robbery here.
Who
yeah.
did Dallas take?
Done. They already got
Dylan Thieneman.
yeah, they
Thieneman.
got
So they-
the
Yeah, so we can still get.
they're
So
not
who
gonna
they
they're not
take
gonna
that hit?
take. Oh, they might take Terrell. Let's see.
Yeah, they might take Terrell.
Oh, Jordan Tyson and McNeil Warren.
No, Panthers. Well, now you got your
Oh.
Terrell pick, and now you have.
We got
five-
Terrell.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
And my hot take hits.
and you
Terrell,
gained,
you are a Viking.
and you gained a pick in the top 100, so that's perfect.
I like it. That was a good move. Just McDonald went 28 where we were going to trade back to possibly.
There goes Peter Woods.
Don't worry about it.
There's Lee Hunter.
Christian Miller, Jacob Rodriguez.
Jacob Rodriguez.
Brandon Cece.
I remember when he was a 4th rounder.
D'Angelo Pons. Where are you?
On's right
There you
before us.
He
All
went
right.
right before.
So here's what we're looking at. We got Chris Johnson, Halacey,
I got the guy I want. Yeah.
Darian Price.
There's a cornerback that I think plays safety in this draft from Miami. He had about I think it was 9 tackles for loss in the backfield, screaming off the edge. Yeah, Keontae Scott.
Mhm.
I'm on Halsey at this pick.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. You got Eli Stowers, Darian Price. He'll probably be gone at our next pick. Our next pick is 82.
Well, what's a good thing us picking up that 92 from Dallas, we have a shot at picking up a running back there instead of missing a whole round of the 4th round to get one. So
That's actually a very good point, Cody.
So yeah,
where would you go with this one, Shaq?
I'm on the AJ train. Either AJ or Scott. We need to solidify that secondary.
Can we get 4 AJs, Cody?
I'll get an AJ too. I'm fine with him too.
All right, let's do it.
As long as we get an Emmett Johnson.
Oh, that's where we might fight, Cody.
I bet you Mike Washington's staring us down at 82.
Marion Price.
Too, but I think
Deontay Scott.
I think a defensive tackle stares us down with more need.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be running back with defensive tackle on the board.
Oof. They're both gonna be there. Kyle Lewis. Oh, I'm out. I'm done with this. This is stupid.
This mocks are dumb.
Mock drafts are dumb.
There's Sam Huck, center replacement.
Mike Washington went to the freaking Dolphins.
I wouldn't draft a center right now.
So we have 82 and 92. So we got 2 within the next 10 picks.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's another
Did I miss Emmett Johnson get drafted? Oh, no,
Nope.
Damn, 130.
He's fallen on PFF hard.
God, I want it.
What are we thinking here at 82, guys? I mean, Jake Slaughter.
I'm staying.
I'm on Sam Roush.
I'm on Max Clare if you're going tight end.
Max Clare.
Yeah, if you're going tight end.
Right here. This is a BPA pick, I think.
Oh, and I like Genesis Smith too, the safety, but we kind of snagged. Did we
got a safety and a cornerback. Like that's what I wanted in this draft, and I think we got guys that can start day one.
Yeah, I think Genesis Smith can start day one too.
I'm guessing Connor Lew got drafted, the center from Auburn.
Yeah, I'm staying away from the top 100 picks.
I mean, we got Brandel.
Yeah, I got Brandel Jurgen still.
Yeah, he got drafted.
Jay, I agree. We do need a center, but I think we can get him later. Tommy's saying Roush.
Yeah, I like Max Clare.
I'm going Deion Burks from Oklahoma.
Wide receiver, huh?
You know, we can never have enough third-round receivers.
What do you like on here, Fish?
I like Sam Roush.
So
Unsold me on Sam Roush.
We have 3 picks in the next 15.
Do a poll. Let the chat pick.
So we got Sam Heck, we got Roush, we got Stowers. Oh no, that was before. So in the chat so far, it's Heck and Roush.
I'll tell you what, I'd be okay with Claire. I'd be okay with Max Clare too. I could get on board with Cody.
BPA by need. I like BPA by need, Jay. But Jay says no tight end.
BPA by need is need.
And tight end.
Is tight end a need?
Well, Hawkinson really going after this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we kind of did draft.
Tight ends in the draft next year too.
We kind of did draft a tight end last year. And then
in the 6th round, and he never played. Come on, Shaq.
We drafted 2 though.
I like Genesis Smith, man. Yeah, we drafted a safety already.
All right. We're running out of time, guys. Clock's going to run out. Are we not going to get the pick in?
What's your defensive tackles? What's the defensive line look like?
Yeah.
We didn't check that out, and that's a huge need right now.
Oh. Dante.
I think we get him with the next pick.
I think we can get him. Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the 80s right now. I'd save that. Rashawn Benny's good as hell too.
Mm.
Ted Hurst. Can we go with the top 30 guy?
I think we go tight end or center here, guys.
Yeah.
We can go Sam Roush. I'll move over to the Stanford tight end.
Cody, you good with Sam Roush?
Even though I prefer Justin Jolly.
I think Max Claire's better.
I haven't watched too much tight ends. I'm not familiar with the tight ends this year.
Tommy says Roush is 6'7" and way more athletic than Max.
But is he more athletic than Justin Jolly?
Fish, executive decision.
I'm going with Unc on this one, Roush.
We're gonna get killed on that one.
Yeah, we are.
All right, Roush, you are a Viking, and there goes Jake Slaughter next pick, and there goes Claire,
and there goes Benny.
Benny gone.
Mm-hmm.
There goes Ted Hurst right before our pick.
Oh, that hurt.
Benny got picked up though, the Michigan defensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
I think I saw that. Yeah.
So Dante Corleone.
All right. We have pick 92 and pick 97. We can still get hecked here at center.
I think that's the play.
A defensive line has to be the play, or running back. I'm staying away from the centers right now, out of the top 100. That's just me, though. You got two of them already on the team. You can
There's Coleman if you like.
We got
him.
one, Cody. We got one center on the team.
Jergens is still on the team.
Jergens is not playing. He's just there for. He's a position, a body.
So we get two picks here, guys. Basically, we got 92 and 95.
What's left at wide receiver, Keith?
Wide receiver?
Yeah, not good.
Bills is good from Notre Dame.
Sam Heck, Jay says his best player available and center is a need.
Is Sam Heck coming off an injury?
In case you click on it, it should show it.
Yeah.
Now here's a guy.
Tells me everything I need to know, right?
Well, clearly that means we should draft him. What more do you need to know from that?
Most drafted by Packer fans, so Packer fans wouldn't like this.
Yeah, he's definitely coming off an injury. He's coming off of.
I know Connor Lew's definitely. He's one of the centers who's coming off an injury because he was the center.
Yeah, Connor Lew was. Yeah, not Sam Heck.
Yeah, he played almost 2,000 snaps, so yeah, I don't think it's him.
How small is Sam Heck? That might be good for Kyler.
He might be one of the small ones.
Yeah,
he ain't small.
Yeah. He's not 6'7" like Brandel. So.
Yeah. Just go Sam Heck for depth.
Done. Cody, you get the next executive decision.
Yeah, Emmett Johnson. Just go pick it.
He's still in the board.
So right now, yeah, like
go get Emmett Johnson now.
163.
Go get Emmett Johnson now. You got to get a running back here unless you're going to go pick.
Let's see who we're going to pass up to get Emmett Johnson. We're going to pass up Malachi Fields, Malik Muhammad, Corleone, Carson Beck. I don't know if I could pass up.
I don't know. We can't pass up Carson Beck. He was a former #1 pick at one point.
He should be a first rounder.
Kamara. If you don't pick running back here, you're going to be getting guys like Henry from Texas UTSA or Hemby from Indiana.
What's the trade offer, Keith?
$101.
Yeah.
What's the next trade offer?
$116.
Scary thing is Jonah Coleman just went, so there might be a run on running backs.
Yeah,
Cody, you have executive on this.
I'm going to Emmett Johnson here. I think you need to
see the running backs.
So, Cody, let me remind you, you have the executive on this.
Emmett Johnson, just draft him.
Done.
You might want to speed this shit up.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long ways away to fourth.
At 163.
Yeah, it's a long ways to go.
I mean, our team is pretty much set. We just drafting
BPA now,
practice
right?
squad players now.
Yeah, we just drafting some bullshit now.
No, this is where we make our hay.
Yeah,
Diego Ponce, let's go. D'Angelo Ponce.
Look at the running back room now.
Hey, Allen, though. I mean, I wouldn't be mad about Allen if we would have got something else.
Keith, would you mind showing our picks?
Julian Neal.
This is a nice draft, guys. We're not going to get a good grade, but this is a nice draft right here.
Julian Neal's on the board.
I think we have to take a defensive tackle now, guys. We haven't taken one.
So maybe we don't. Maybe we just go get Calais.
I mean, don't threaten me with a good time.
Is Capehart still out there?
Nick Barnett, Devin Eastern.
Yeah, Barrett's pretty good, but I'm waiting on him till like the 7th or 8th pick in this.
So there's no one that we want to take here, right?
Nah. Only person I really like right here is another running back, Claiborne.
Yeah, you can add another running back. Who says you can't?
Who else is on the board? Or
Julian Neal.
Neal is a sneaky steal right there too.
I think we also talked to Thaddeus Dixon too. Well, he's supposed to be a top 30 visit. I'm not entirely sure.
I like Julian Neal here.
Yeah.
What's our next pick is 196. So
yeah,
it's really, do we want Claiborne or Neal?
Neal. I feel like at this point we got enough running backs in the room. If we need another running back, we could draft one next year. At least with Julian Neal, he's more likely to get some burn.
Done. In the 5th round, I'm taking Julian Neal. That's nice. Now we got 2 solid cornerbacks out of this draft.
There's your center. If you wanted to get the center, Pat Coogan.
We already got Sam Hecht.
I know.
Can he play guard?
Gillenborg. No, we already took a tight end. Never mind.
Eli Hendrick. Get our fullback.
He's not a fullback.
Zane Durant is still there?
He's like a utility back. He's a Jim Kleinsaucer.
Zane Durant, the defensive lineman from Penn State?
We got Bishop Fitzgerald, safety from USC. Ball hawk. Rinaldi.
Lorenzo Styles.
There's my boy Jaquan right.
I'm telling you right now, I'm thinking Eli right here.
I'm thinking Zane Durant.
Drafting a fullback is crazy.
But he's not a fullback. He's like a weapon. He's like Jim Kleinsaucer.
What pick was Jim Kleinsaucer?
Huh?
I said, what round did we draft Jim Kleinsaucer?
Actually, I think kind of early.
Yeah, because he was more of a tight end.
I went and watched Heidenreich's his highlight film. Not one time were any of his highlights with him lined up as a fullback. He was out there like a receiver.
Yeah.
I'm Zane Durant on this one.
Zane Durant all the way. That's going to be an A pick too.
Boom. Zane Durant, you're a Minnesota Viking. If Eli's there at 234, I'm taking him. Okay, he's not.
Ooh, there's Barrett too. Just load up the meats.
I mean, his best player right now.
Taylor Green. Eric Gentry.
Not a single wide receiver in our draft. Maybe we should dip our toes in that right now. Vinny Anthony II. That's my cousin Vinny right there.
Now we're taking guys named Squirrel.
They always work. Those type of players.
Oh my God.
Kool-Aid, Squirrel, Tank.
Good thing Sarah's not here. Yeah, I think we're just gonna end up missing the wide receiver train.
Eric
What up,
Gentry.
Ronaldo?
Eric Gentry, linebacker.
I like Nick Barrett.
Why can't I see the fucking linebacker? Why won't this scroll down? Huh. I can't scroll down. Where'd you see him at?
You're in guards.
Yeah,
You just got guards.
interior offensive line.
You said Eric Gentry?
Yeah, he's like right
He's
there.
way down there. You probably get him at like 2.
Well, we have the next 2 picks.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you get Barnett from South Carolina and Gentry. Because I feel like we ain't drafting enough defense this draft for B-Flow.
Definitely not fighting on picks 230 and 240s. I'm definitely out of my element.
Ooh, Terry.
All right, Taylon Green.
Oh, Terry on Stewart's there. That's nasty too. Okay, I'm done.
You want to go quarterback, Fish?
Mm-hmm.
What about Brosmer?
He's not just quarterback; he's a weapon. He is.
That's a weapon right there, dude.
He's
I will die on this hill. We put him in a Taysom Hill type role.
I still remember when I was trying to do that to Daniel Jones.
All right, so what do you think? C minus, B minus?
Now we're gonna get a B.
C plus.
They're gonna give us a B.
See, I hate the way they do this. A B minus for Terrell, and they're telling us that we could have taken an edge. We don't need an edge.
Well, the only players at our spot that are A's, because I manipulated the system, it's Malachi Lemon, Freeling, Thieneman, and Fano. If those guys
B plus.
Yeah.
Ooh, Roush got the C, fellas.
Oof.
C gets degrees.
Well, I mean, it's not the tight end and cornerback were not listed as positions of need, right?
Emmett a D.
I'm fine with it.
I'm okay with it because like we had to. If we would have waited, we wouldn't have got him. Shaq, your USC bias got us. All right.
We got us a B.
Is a B.
Yeah, good job.
Bottom 36% of drafts. I wear that with pride.
Mm-hmm.
Because that means we weren't just picking the guys at the top.
Yeah. And like I'm pretty sure I manipulated someone else's system. All I did was pick defensive tackles and safeties, and I got straight A's. So don't believe in grades, people.
Yes, Terrell does have a hamstring injury. That does kind of worry me a little bit. I like my guys to be fully healthy in the first round, but I thought this is a good draft. I would feel like we covered a lot of needs.
I like Barrett. Probably starting on this defensive line. I'm a big Barrett fan.
A 7th rounder starting on this defensive line?
I
That'd be crazy. but I mean, if you look at our depth right now, it could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Push Levi Drake Rodriguez straight to that practice squad.
Didn't Ivan Pace start for our defense?
He did.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of mid, low end round picks that start on this defense. All right. There's a guy from the XFL starting on this defense.
Yeah. He's not bagging groceries. You guys pissed me off that night.
I ain't do nothing.
Fish like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I ain't ready.
All right. Let's do something different. Let's go ahead and get to these purple prophecies and make some predictions. Shaq's dancing, so he looks ready.
I'm trying to think of one in my head right now.
Oh,
I'm not ready.
I'm ready.
All right, go hit us with it, Fish.
Harrison Smith will announce that he is going to play one more season before the draft.
Ooh, before the draft. Okay. That makes it pretty hot. I thought you were just going to say that he is going to. Okay.
Oh, I got
like
one.
it. Go for it, Shaq.
Jordan Addison will not get in any trouble this offseason.
Okay, that's hot. That's flaming hot.
you gotta go for an easy win.
Hey, we're not counting the casino incident, right? Because that already happened in the offseason.
Any more trouble?
Any more
more
trouble.
trouble.
You know, you got discount from from March forward. Or April, I should say. April forward.
All right. What do you got, Cody?
I'm gonna go with the Minnesota Vikings. If the Minnesota Vikings draft a safety in the first 2 rounds, that Harrison Smith is not coming back to him.
Oh. So that's going to be a 2-parter because they have to draft one for us to know if that happens or not. But I think it's very high probability that we do.
Yeah. I mean, if we don't and he comes back, and then he can train up and develop the developed piece.
I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings will draft center Logan Jones.
Hey, as long as Dominique Orange isn't in front of him, he's all right.
I think we're going to get a center in this draft, but I don't think it's going to be early.
Mhm.
What's up, Norse? Norse always jumping on when we're trying to sign off.
So Cody, should we nickname Logan Jones Scurvy then? because vitamin C is his weakness.
Yeah. Okay, that's about it.
Yeah, that's it for our show tonight.
That was a good one, though.
Shaq, final words.
Final words, pretty much thanks for tuning in to another all-season episode of Let's Go podcast. If you're feeling real generous, you could leave some donations by clicking the $ sign on YouTube, or you could type in Let's Go on Cash App and send donations that way. You don't have to, but we appreciate everything. And pretty much, the draft season is getting close. Next week, we'll be talking about safeties. So, y'all stay tuned for that.
Ooh, safeties next week. That's going to be a good one. Michael Fish.
For Vikings fans, by Vikings fans, please check out the relatively short videos that I've done with Robbie Nunk fishing for prospects. We just did the second rounders, and that video should be coming out soon. There's been some people that I've never heard of that they brought up, and they've made me interested in. So check them out. The guys do a pretty good job of detailing their selections and who they like. Thanks, Norse. And stay safe. I hate to put it like this, but I really wouldn't mind having a week where somebody in our Vikings organization or in our Vikings community doesn't pass away. Let's just have a nice, positive week. I'm really tired of all this sadness and negativity from having to talk about that. To 20 more years, fellas, and let's get this done. Draft's coming in. Let's go.
Let's go.
We'll be live the first 2 nights of the draft. I don't know.
Shot.
I don't know if everybody knows.
I think there's going to have to be, Shaq. I think me and you are going to have to do it, and Cody if he wants to.
I'll be passed out by pick 17. Just no.
I will encourage it.
I'll say we gotta at least wait to pick 10 before we start doing shots. I'm not.
if they want to buy shots before the first pick's announced, rent's due. That's all I'm saying.
Pony up them livers, fellas.
I remember the Donovan Jackson pick. I remember the pick was in. We said a few words, and then the rest was a blur.
Yeah, it's all right.
We're gonna have to start promoting that a little bit next week. But Cody, final words.
So final words, yeah. Go check out Fish's segment this time. Last week, I hated Robbie's picks. He put up with it on the Smack Talk. But this week, I really love Robbie's picks. Like, I actually enjoyed those picks. And Unk, he did another good job. I think that's 3 rounds in a row I had for him. That's A+ so far. But other than that, hey, you guys listen to us, right? We'll listen to you. If you're having any kind of trouble back in there, hey, just hit us, one of us up. We'll answer you, right? Other than that, it's the weekend coming up around the corner. You got Easter right on Sunday, right? Have a great time out there with your family. Be safe out there. And as always, let's go.
All right, that's our show. And like Cody and Fish said, go and check out the videos too. Show some support. If you're still watching this and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We'll be back next week with some more Skol talk. Let's Skol.
Let's go! For Vikings fans, Minnesota Vikings.